Yeah, where are you getting it?
My friend Sean told me about this company called EcoFlow, which makes really good solar generators. So that's what I got.
Cool.
Yeah. Any thoughts about that?
I just don't think you'll ever do it.
I'll tell
I
you.
bought it already, motherfucker.
I'll tell you who probably wouldn't use a solar generator and who would most definitely use a gasoline or alcohol fueled generator. My boy Stone Cold, my boy Johnny Cold, Johnny Stone. What the fuck is his name? What is this?
Johnny
movie?
Cold.
His name is John Hoff. His biker name is, or his undercover name is John Stone, and then his biker name is Stone Cold.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. Do
Right?
they call him Stone Cold?
No,
It's John Stone.
His real
Yeah.
name is Joe Huff.
Joe
They say it a
Huff.
lot towards the end. He's an Alabama cop. That's all he is.
He's
Yeah,
a
so
real
this-
dog the bounty hunter looking ass dude.
Yeah. What do you think of when you think of an Alabama cop? That's what I think of. A guy with a mullet and a trench coat where you can see his nipples.
Look, this month we're doing cool cops, okay? It's a wonderfully timed theme. It's all about the coolest police officers. Okay, these cops aren't afraid to like go after danger. You know, these aren't the pussy police.
Yeah, these aren't the cops that'll be waiting outside a school when a mass shooting's going in. These are the cops that will be doing the mass shootings. These guys are in there. They're proactive. These guys are cool.
Yeah, these are the cops that don't exist, that the movies gave us, that we get to think. It makes us think that these are what cops are like, but
They're not.
let's face it.
No,
folks.
these are the cops. This is the cop like the Border Patrol agent who did run into the school and who shot the shooter with a borrowed
Yes.
shotgun from his barber. You know, this is like him.
Oh, that's how it ended. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this dude was getting a haircut, and his wife is a teacher at the school. And she's like, "Hey, we're being shot. Like the school is being shot up." And his barber, he's like, "I need a gun," and his barber's like, "Take my shotgun." He then drove to the school like 30 miles or whatever. Showed up, saw like a bunch of pussy police outside doing nothing, and then he met up with like, I think him and a few other Border Patrol agents. Then went inside and
He got his
Took
wife
out-
out first, right? They took
Yeah.
out a bunch of people, and then he went back in and shot the dude.
yeah,
That's a cool cop. I love the Border Patrol now.
Yeah, so-
He's a border patrol without borders.
Whoa. Damn. He's breaking protocol, really.
That's the tag on that movie.
Their whole thing is that they have borders.
and he had half a haircut the whole time.
Yeah, that's the funniest part.
He was mid-shave. He was going with like a Hitler mustache. They didn't get the Hitler part.
They didn't get the rest out.
Look at Adam smoke a cigar.
Oh my god, Adam's power goes out once and he thinks he's like an aristocrat living in
He looks like Elaine in Seinfeld. Using his
Look at him suck that little cigar.
Cubano.
is that really a Cuban cigar?
Yeah, it is.
He's just smoking a Cuban cigar in his shed.
Damn, dude.
This is the kind of dad I'm gonna be. A
A
Cuban
stinker?
cigar shed dad. Yeah, stinky
cool.
dad.
Yeah, so here's something funny about Stone Cold. The movie starts with basically a ripoff of the grocery store robbery from Cobra. And then there's even a little Cobra second beat where he makes a protein shake. Apparently, they shot for 4 weeks with another director before, and the movie began with Brian Bosworth, who plays Stone Cold. He had a family and a backstory, and there was all this setup and shit. But that director got fired because they said for personal reasons, Offset started messing him up during production, which makes me think he was a cocaine addict or something, or an alcoholic.
It's like the 80s are over, bro. It's 91.
Yeah. So one funny thing is there was a scene they shot at his house where a biker threw a grenade in the house. And I guess they used like a real guy's house. And when they shot the grenade scene, they're like, oh, that explosion wasn't big enough. So then they reshot it and put a bigger grenade in, and then they just blew up the guy's house.
That's awesome. That's like the highest thing a movie like this can achieve, is blowing up someone's actual house.
And then they're like, let's get
Just
out
some
of here.
PA. It's like some PA that
Yeah, an
they're like,
intern.
yeah, can we use your house? Sure.
It's like, oh, sure.
They're all
So
excited about it.
The director who took over is named Craig Baxley. The other big movie he directed that you probably heard of is Action Jackson with
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers. And before that, he was a stunt coordinator or something like. So the thing about his movies is that they all have really good stunts. So when he showed up, I don't know what happened to the scripts because the beginning is very weird. All the wackiest shit is in the beginning of the movie because they just scrapped everything. And
yeah, then you see like swastikas all the time and stuff, and it gets dark.
Well, it's about a biker gang called the Brotherhood, but I didn't see any brothers, if you know what I mean.
I guess.
Yeah, and they literally had swastikas as their flag in an SS, and
yes,
they were Nazis.
That's just biker shit.
Well, they're the Aryan
neo-Nazis.
Hey, man,
no, they're the Aryan
bikers.
Brotherhood. They're supposed to be the Aryan Brotherhood,
which are Nazis.
Oh,
so
yeah, that is a confusing name for the. I don't know why the Aryans chose that particular phrase.
Yeah,
so
because it's camaraderie.
Go with
They're
that bit,
brothers.
Adam.
Well, I'm off of what you're saying.
What should they have done?
Uh,
The Aryan Trap House.
The Aryan Funhouse bike club.
yeah.
The Aryan Dojo. What about the Aryan Dojo?
Yeah.
About just a couple of white guys. We're just some white guys.
Aryan Country Club, if it's all white people.
Aryan Tax Services.
All right. Well, anyway, so yeah.
Aryan Accounting Inc.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Aryan Brotherhood in disguise. Now, here's the big thing I can't figure out. I rewatched the beginning of this movie again this morning. In the opening scene, you see the Brotherhood show up to a church and they just blow away the priest. And I don't know
wedding.
I don't know why they do this. It makes no sense why they do this. I mean, they sell crystal meth. They do like protection shit with like the mafia.
They mentioned it though. He had connections to Whip, to that mayor, or the guy running for mayor. The priest did, because then they go.
He's running for.
They
governor.
go, or whatever. It just shows him shoot the priest, but then later they mention, they shot a priest, a city council guy, and somebody else.
Okay, now Whip only gets mad. Whip says their sentence is too lenient. The guy's getting 45 years for shooting a priest. Okay. And then Whip wants to give him life in prison or the death penalty. No, he wants to give him the death penalty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why wouldn't he immediately get the death penalty?
But it still doesn't answer the question why the guy shot the priest in the first place. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
They're outlaws.
So
They're
something was
crazy.
cut. Something was cut. We don't know what it is, but this gets the story in motion. Stone Cold saves the day at the grocery store.
He's just happens to be shopping.
He's cool. Dude, this is the coolest scene in the movie. He's walking around. He eats a little cookie.
Three or four shotgun blasts go off, and he's still is just shopping.
He's got his little cart.
Yeah, it's like what?
He's like looking at cans.
That's what a cool cop is capable of. They finish their shopping and still enjoy their day while they're taking out the trash
in the middle of a shootout.
Yeah, and he's got a little quip at the end, and guitar wail kicks in.
Who is this guy? Is he a wrestler?
No, he's a football player from the 80s.
Oh,
he was on the
actor,
Seattle
if you ask
Seahawks.
me. He's an actor, Ryan.
I mean, he wasn't bad.
Isn't this whole movie like the whole thing is that he's complete dog shit in the movie? But he's like, the movie's really good, honestly. I feel like everything about the movie is good except for Brian Bosworth, except for the star.
Well, he's never acted before. Give him a break.
Like
that's why he's not too bad. He's for a concussed athlete.
That's true. He's dealing with concussions and stuff.
Did that give you PTSD, Adam?
What?
that the experience of an actor with no ability to act starring in a film.
Yeah, that hit a little close to home.
But a
It hit
beefcake.
close to home for
But he
me
was a
because
beefcake,
when I look at him, I see myself just physically.
the jawline and everything.
This jawline, the little tiny eyes,
Yeah,
his little eyelids had muscles on them.
you got to stop doing roids, man. It's gonna catch
tough.
up with you.
Well, he's an Alabama cop, but for some reason he's suspended for 3 weeks. And then he saves the grocery store, and the chief of police, the captain, treats him like shit. But luckily he gets a little job offer from the FBI to go undercover. They set it up as that he has arrested more bikers than any other Alabama cop. Therefore, he should be the one who goes undercover.
He should, and he knows the lingo.
Makes sense.
But wouldn't they recognize him?
Yes,
That would be my
none
concern.
of it makes sense. He never
This
tried
guy
to
put
hide
all
his
of our
identity.
Brothers away.
He like changed out of a leather duster, a leather trench coat, to like a skunk denim vest.
Yeah,
It's cool.
And he's like, call me, I don't know, John Stone. And I'm a different guy. But
He
wouldn't he be
bought
like
it.
a famous cop? I feel like he would be a famous cop in Alabama.
at least among the motorcycle clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, the way he looks, you kidding me?
yeah.
He'd be like a dog the
That's what
bounty
they all
hunter.
look
He'd be
like,
like
man, in Alabama. I'm telling you, all the cops down there. But wait, hold on a second. We got it before we move on from the grocery store stuff. We talked about this a little bit on the text. Why are grocery stores I've never heard of a grocery store getting robbed. But this
What?
happens a lot in movies.
Well,
There was a
stole it
mass
from
shooting
Cobra
at there was literally a mass shooting at a grocery store a week ago
in Buffalo, New York.
in Buffalo, New York.
Really?
It happens
Oh, yeah, it's
all
hard
the
to keep
fuck.
up,
And then in
honestly.
Colorado, there was a shootout.
Well, you're not getting a lot of money at a grocery store.
No, you're killing people.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
you're
that's what I'm saying.
or
This is a
you-
robbery. It's not a mass
or you're
shooting. This is
getting
before mass
food.
shootings.
Sicario 2, the
Innocent
terrorists blew up
robbers.
a grocery store.
Yeah, my theory is that grocery stores are just one of the most cinematic of all locations.
We could all relate to it.
True, relatable, but there's a
Like
lot
how
of
how scary
products,
would it be?
A lot of color coordination things going on in the stuff, and
That sounds like a nightmare to film.
a lot of things to smash into.
Yeah, that's what it is. The pyramid of cans.
Yeah, exactly. It's all
That
about
this
the
guy
pyramid.
in this movie, this guy slips backwards, but somehow slips forwards like 7 feet into
Gets
a
rocketed
pile of
into-
cans.
Yeah, display at the end of the aisle.
Well, I think I said this during the Cobra episode, which we did, and that is, I mean, it doesn't make sense for Stone Cold, but in Cobra, it was all about the suburban fear and making a movie about, 80s suburban life, Reagan life. So Reagan's America. So that's why that imagery was used. This is just a ripoff of, they just stole that scene from Cobra, and they stole the protein shake scene from Cobra, where
Well,
he
there's a
makes
protein
disgust-
shake in every cop movie.
Yeah,
was that principle?
What's that other one? The Paul Newman one.
Well, the Belushi one, the
Is it
principal.
yeah.
Parker?
Yeah.
Cooper.
Coop.
No.
The Paul. Yeah,
Pooper.
Hooper.
It's like every
Hooper.
every action movie with like a buff
Hooper
guy
with
back
Burt Reynolds.
Hanging with Mr. Hooper.
then. Yeah. But the twist with Stone Cold, the twist is that protein shake ain't for him.
Who's it for?
Oh yeah.
His freaking Komodo dragon that he's got laying on the floor at his pet. I thought that was a beautiful scene. And he goes
Yeah.
head to head and he kisses. He's giving him a little on the top of the head of his lizard. A little
One thing
lizard.
this movie does really well is like
They cut his family and replaced it with a monitor lizard, which I think is a smarter choice.
fantastic choice. This director knows his shit, dude. But this movie at the beginning, like especially in the first half, has like a ton of it has all these like great reveals. You fucking see him like there's a scene where Brian Bosworth is like talking to this guy for a long time and he's shirtless, and then it's like a wider shot and he's just in his underwear completely.
Yeah, and it's
And you're
like
just
a
what the fuck?
it's
And then
like
he's
a
walking, and then
sexy
he turns around
80s
and he sees his
underwear.
ass. Yeah, it's just every cut is like reveals a funny thing.
And then
cool
he
as
sits
hell.
down on the FBI guy sits down on his bed and they're still talking for a minute. Like they have a full-on paragraph worth of conversation, and then you just see like some titties and ass in the bed.
Yeah,
And there's just a babe. There's a babe that's been laying there the whole time,
yeah.
who you never see again.
So this is from Harper, that Paul Newman movie. And in Harper, when he wakes up, he's like a private eye. He doesn't have any like coffee filters, right? Didn't he just take one out of the garbage?
Yeah,
and then he made another
Ew.
cup of coffee out of an
It's all
old
about being
coffee
disgusting.
So, and then making breakfast. And then another one, fuck, I can't remember the name. There's one with Burt Reynolds.
Hooper.
No, that's Hooper's the stuntman movie. There's a Burt Reynolds one called, I think it's like I forget,
2
but
Minute Baby?
he sleeps in a billiard hall. He like wakes up on a pool table, which is fucking
Oh
cool.
yeah, what is
and,
that?
And there's a topless woman. So
Those are
this
the
is like a
people
big.
that you want to have guns and pay to, crazy salaries and pensions to protect people and stuff. Guys who do not have their shit together at
pensions
all.
to protect
That's
people.
pretty much what we're
It's
doing.
called Seamus. So here's the thing: the cop movie is a variation of the Western. So Westerns were this huge genre of film. Then in 1968 or whatever, there was a giant crime boom, crime increase. And very quickly, they switched to cop movies grew in popularity. And a big reason why is because of the car chase. Like Bullet is basically, I would say, the first cool cop in a movie.
What was going on politically too, though? Were they trying to make cops look cool?
Well, there's also the the counterculture thing was going on, plus the racial tension in America.
Yes.
So
Hold on,
these
what?
cops, there's a lot of racial tension in America.
Whoa,
Civil
whoa!
rights.
Since when?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I'll tell you what. Stone Cold was here. If
He's
John,
straighten things out.
he would fucking, even though he inevitably or it basically
Did you
just
say the
infiltrate
N-word,
inevitably.
Adam? Did you say the N-word?
Maybe I
Yeah.
did. Maybe it.
Wow.
No,
review the tapes.
John Stone just joins a fucking Aryan
Aryan
Brotherhood and does a lot, helps him out quite a bit.
He's good at
Kind
fighting.
of into what they're talking about.
And
Yeah.
then when they're all talking, when the gang's like all talking and they're like, this is not what the Brotherhood was supposed to be like when we started. We're friends. And now you're just out here willy-nilly killing people. We're supposed to be like an open invite family. And it's like, did you think that? Because you were joining a Nazi group, like a group of neo-Nazis. You didn't think you were going to beat somebody up?
Kill people in cold blood. They also were killing priests in cold blood.
That
So I
goes
don't
to
know
show
why he
you
was talking.
that not all Nazis are bad. Is what the movie is saying.
Oh,
Not that's
Some
not
could
how
be-
I
I
feel.
wish I wish the audience could see Adam's stupid face when he said that joke and just smiled. Just like,
There's
hey,
something to think about. Maybe if before
Schindler's
you judge the
List?
Nazis.
I think our listeners already agree with that statement, Adam.
Yeah, that's true.
they might not. They might agree with
Because they're all your friends.
a more absolute statement. All Nazis are good.
Well,
Yeah, why stop at what I said?
you can't judge.
Clip it.
You know what they say? The only good Nazi
Is a gay Nazi?
Is a gay, is a gay
Guy who
Nazi.
only likes gay Nazis.
Imagine being
yeah.
a gay Nazi. How stressful that would be.
Once you
'Cause you
start
gotta be
judging
like-
the Nazis, aren't you kind of as bad as the Nazis?
Yeah, that's when you cross that line.
Yeah, you're just
Judgment.
being. Yeah, it's like you're the Nazi now.
If you did it, how would you do a genocide, Adam?
Oh,
Solar powered.
Solar
yeah,
powered.
solar powered genocide.
Yeah. So Stone Cold joins. He goes to the Nazi Brotherhood rally, and they're having like it's like a big summer camp. They're having fun. They
Looks
play
awesome.
games. They put like beer cans on their shoulder and shoot at them with guns and laugh.
Yeah.
With
then
semi-automatic pistols.
Well, William Forsythe uses an automatic weapon,
Oh, that's
Which-
right. He's a
Oh, yeah.
notoriously
He's good.
inaccurate gun, the Uzi, but he's able to shoot a beer can off the guy from T2's shoulder, the guy
good.
whose boots and jacket and motorcycle are taken from the beginning. So
It'd be cool if they were playing laser tag when you first saw him. That's like a smarter way to do that.
or had a water balloon fight.
Yeah.
It would have been cooler if they would have rolled up and instead of all of that, they're just playing like cornhole. They're all just
Yeah.
hanging out playing yard games.
Yeah, they just have they have a big rope swing.
One of those like
Going into the
umbrella
lake.
things where they're like throwing one of them up in the air.
Not an umbrella,
Hey,
parachute.
whoa,
Parachute, thank you.
Hey, there's just one big Nazi just giggling, getting tossed up and down in the air.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if they haven't
the
done
gay
that
one.
before, they might have been like, damn, this is sick. We should have been doing this instead of shooting cans off each other. This is fun too.
Yeah. Also, how often does somebody get shot doing the can game? Because it seems like that's their everyday routine. They wake up, they just start shooting cans,
No, this
pouring
is a
beer all
rally.
over their head. They were having a party.
What did you think of those outdoor showers?
Pretty sick.
Okay, so how could every fucking
Only
woman on this
babes.
compound was just babes? Just
Babes
10 out of 10
only.
out of 10s. But then
A
all these
stripper.
guys are
They
just
have the
greasy
meth.
fucking.
When you have meth, you can just fuck any stripper you want and turn her into a bag whore. You know, that's a little tip for our listeners.
There's that,
Get into the meth game.
that
Yeah.
shower shot or whatever that you're talking about. This movie has a lot of like long tracking shots that are really elaborate and interesting and fun to watch.
Yeah.
And all the everybody in this movie, even like the background guys with one line guys, they're like so good. And it
They're
feels
like real
Yeah.
bikers.
but that one specific tracking shot is awesome because it's like one of the rare like long shots that have like multiple naked women in it and also like a child walking past.
Yeah, a child with a
Yeah.
stroller playing.
For
And
no
then
reason.
they're all just having fun. It's summer camp, you know.
They're family.
It's a commune.
It's Olive
There's
Garden.
another scene in this section that's interesting, or to point out that there's a bike race between William Forsythe and Brian Bosworth, and that scene is very similar to the bike race in Black Rain, the Michael Douglas movie. And Michael Douglas is an uncredited producer, executive producer of Stone Cold, and he took his name
Oh.
off.
Why?
Well, because he produced
Because
One
he's like
Flew
a
Over the
serious
Cuckoo's-
actor.
Yeah, he produced One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and had won an Oscar. And I guess he was just trying to be like, you know what? Maybe this is bad press, or maybe this movie's gonna bomb, so I better take my name off. Or some
Maybe this
poor taste.
movie where our lead actor is a football player who's never acted before. Maybe this movie's gonna bomb. Was he hot at the time? Was he like killing it on interview? Who was this football player and why was it this guy?
I don't know. I mean, he was like, maybe people thought he was like a Hulk Hogan type or like a Schwarzenegger type, but they were making so many of these action movies. Like, this is my favorite era for action film. Like
Yeah.
86 to 91. I
What's
guess
going
it
on
peaks.
then?
It peaks with T2, but like it was just an endless supply of R-rated action movies like this with real stunts. Not a lot of almost no compositing.
The stunts
Optical
are
effects.
so good in this movie and like look dangerous and shit.
Yeah. And then until the end when he's just full on a superhero
Well,
jumping out
but
of a
the-
helicopter 15
Yeah, that's
stories
awesome.
and just landing on his feet.
But the helicopter stuff too is like they were just flying a helicopter straight at like a
Down the
state
street.
capital.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about the ending, because basically there's a lot of, undercover shit, same old shit you see in every other cop movie. But the big finale is at the Mississippi State Courthouse, and they shot at the Little Rock, Arkansas courthouse, or Capitol building. And they shot that scene in 3 days. They had 3 days at the courthouse, and they fly helicopters down the street. They fly a helicopter over the building.
Fairly elaborate shootout.
Brian Bosworth jumps out of the helicopter, and falls through a skylight and just gets up. They have guys shooting guns out of windows. They have trailer trucks pulling up to the windows of the building, and guys on motorcycles riding through
clown car and out of. There's like 15 guys on motorcycles in a standard U-Haul.
Dude,
like,
no, it's a beautiful. It's a giant.
Also,
trailer
imagine
truck.
driving. Like, imagine the trip there. They're just standing
just
in the
in the
back, like
motorcycle?
fucking on the motor, waiting in the back of the truck, just like shaking around. And just awkward conversation.
Well, there's another really funny scene before that where they're getting ready, and you see like 3 bikers with like pencil, and they're like drawing lines for the outline of the fake logo they're putting on the tractor trailer.
Yeah.
And they're putting like I forget the logo, but they're making like a Wonder Bread or like a grocery store, kind of like, oh, we're just a nice, innocent, tractor trailer. Like, it doesn't need a label. It doesn't need art to cover it. You can just drive. If you're just going to drive a truck through a police barricade and have guys jump out the back.
Yeah, it's noticeable.
You don't need like a cute little logo on the side to like trick people. So, but anyway, apparently they did not tell the officials what the hell they were doing. So they're just full on riding motorcycles on marble steps, up and down staircases, through marble hallways, doing amazing stunts. And it ends, I guess the biggest stunt in the movie is, doesn't he shoot a motorcycle out a window into a helicopter and blowing it up outside?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, speaking of blowing up, I don't understand. The whole reason he was in the helicopter to begin with is because they had found out he was a cop.
The Bolivian guy.
Because the Bolivian guy came back.
They didn't arrest, they just deported, and then he came back.
And he ratted him out, whatever. So then instead of just killing him on the spot, which they've already killed 2 guardsmen, 2 army men
in cold blood,
and a priest, and just done a bunch of fucked up
judge.
shit. Yeah,
they blew up a judge in a little motorboat.
Yeah, so they've just killed these people cold blooded. And with John Stone, they're gonna be like, you know what we should do instead of just shoot him like we did everybody else? Let's tie him up to some very important looking wires in this helicopter, and then bring a bomb with us. Yeah. Set the bomb for 1 minute and whatever 30 seconds, and then put the bomb on him once it gets to 20 seconds, and then push him out of a helicopter to blow up. What the fuck is that?
Look,
also put the bomb on him and then set the timer. Why do you gotta the guy was holding the bomb, watching it count down, and he was supposed to put it on Stone once it got to 20 seconds. I don't get it.
Right. You don't question Chains. Okay. The leadership of Chains has never failed.
What about Ice?
He's dead at this point. Which beautiful funeral.
Yeah, it was awesome. I love
the Viking funeral.
Makes it
that was
fun.
a good stunt.
Pretty fun to be in a
him
biker
getting
game.
It did look pretty fun to be in the Aryan Brotherhood.
We should start a biker gang of pussies, guys who were pussies.
That's the pussy posse.
Hey, yeah, that's what we can call. We can still have fun, but just because we're pussies. But
the scene when Ice dies, though, just head first into that shit was dope.
You know what they call a group of pussies?
A gaggle?
A podcast.
That's good. Amen. No, that's you guys. You're just talking about you and Ryan, because every podcast needs a
retarded guy.
A retarded guy who's not a pussy. I'm not a pussy though.
Okay.
Damn, I'm a retarded pussy. But like I always say, you are what you eat.
Oh. That's smelly, dude. That's nasty.
Oh, you're more grossed out by the idea of
a retarded
what that means. And Ryan doing this, like basically sexually abusing a retarded woman.
I've seen I Am Sam. It's consensual.
They like it. They like to fuck, Adam. They're just like anyone else.
Yeah, I don't want to take that agency away from them. It's kind of
Yeah,
a
who
good
are
thing if
you?
you do.
You know what?
Actually,
You already are kind of in your own brotherhood the way you're talking.
what
Who are
brotherhood
you
of
to
what?
judge? Anti-retarded people having
Oh.
sex?
No, I'm into it. I'm really into it.
Adam doesn't like to go down on women. He thinks that's beta.
Who does? I make
Well,
them
you
go
know.
up on me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what a real
I,
man
I
does.
stand there and then they got to climb up me. You want me? You want my face in your crotch? You got to bring your crotch to my face.
You refuse to lower your chin like even an inch. But if they get to the top of the mountain,
I'll do it. You grab a ladder, girl.
Yeah.
You guys done bombing?
Mm.
No, actually, I'm gonna ride this one out. So then you could get a step ladder.
Oh yeah, you sit up on a ladder. It's kind of like a Hell in a Cell match or something, like a ladder match where they have to get up and do it. Okay, we're done now. We're done bombing.
I think I'm done.
You know, if you want to fuck a retarded girl, you know you do it.
No.
Just get a little crystal meth, you know. Get some wild in the sack.
Crystal meth, you can do anything with crystal. They say money doesn't buy you happiness, but crystal meth can buy you a retard.
Instead of like hooking up with
the second part
strippers,
of
you're
it.
just like, hey, or you got like candy. You're just like, what's up, girl? You want some candy? Down at
They're
the,
just it's like a Godzilla figure.
she's like working at Burger King. You're just like, what's up, girl? Maybe after work, you know, you want to come over?
She's
Have
like,
some Sour Patch Kids.
she's like,
I
I have
see
a
that
boyfriend.
Whopper. I want to hear that Whopper slap.
Ew.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to be the king. Bring that crown up here because you know I ain't going down there to get it.
Is that her boyfriend? Is that what you're referring to? The Burger King?
No, I was referring to her.
She thinks that the Burger King is her boyfriend. When she got the job.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So, what else is there to talk about in this movie?
the
I mean,
FBI agent who's the fucking worst FBI agent and blows the case like over and over and over and over, and
They
then
make him
saves
such
the
a
day.
pussy because he's like
he
not
saves the
Brian
day.
Bosworth.
He kills Chains at the end.
That's Reginald Vell Johnson in Die Hard.
Correct. This is the old Die Hard. The pussy is redeemed at the end by killing the bad guy who jumps up a second time.
Yeah.
So Sam McMurray, most famous from being in Raising Arizona, I guess, wanting to do wife swapping.
He looked very familiar.
He's a great character actor. He was Neil's dad in Freaks and Geeks.
That's right.
Good stuff.
I liked how the main choreography with the action in this is Stone just throwing people just with inhuman strength, throwing like 250-pound men, fully grown men, just throwing them over a bar. That bar fight scene where he just tosses this dude. Like it's like a piece of wadded up paper that he's throwing into the trash. He just tosses this dude across the bar. That's all he does. He just tosses people. And then he does some tackles. I did like how he did some tackles.
Yeah, that's cool. They worked that in there.
Yeah. There's a lot of action in this movie. There's a lot of shenanigans. There's a lot of like.
I think Steve Austin auditioned for Stone Cold Steve Austin auditioned for this, but didn't get the part, I heard. You think he's upset?
This
about
is where
that?
his name comes from.
For real?
Yeah. Because everything that WWE is like stolen from like pop culture.
Oh yeah, and he's also shirtless in a leather vest.
Yeah.
And
Like
he's
Brian
a football
Bosworth
player.
for a
Oh,
lot
wait,
of
no,
the
that's
movie.
Goldberg.
That's true, honestly.
Until he got the skunk haircut, and then he started combing his hair. At like once he joined the gang, his hair changed, and it was more skunky. And then he wore that skunk patch, and they never mentioned it, but I think his nickname was like Skunk because he literally had a big fur patch on his like a shoulder pad, and it was a skunk fur. It was sick.
That is cool.
Also, apparently, that's Brian Bosworth's motorcycle he uses throughout the movie.
Oh, I was going to ask. He clearly knew how to ride.
he's like, I would be more comfortable on my own motorcycle. You know, I built it. I'm used to it. So yeah, he just rode his own motorcycle, which is awesome.
That's badass. Dude, you know what else is kind of a big thing throughout this movie is Brian Bosworth's nipples.
So let's talk about some of the other characters.
First character we're gonna talk about, his
hold on a
left
second.
nipple.
You don't have a
Change the
bit.
subject. This isn't a bit. This is
What,
a real.
what about? Well, this is Adam's
Physical detail thing.
physical detail with Adam segment.
Yeah, you see. I don't know. You didn't notice his nipples throughout the movie?
Yeah,
just-
what about him? Notice what about him?
Not a
They
gay
were
guy.
there.
They're kind of prominent. He's got
No
like,
offense, but I'm not a gay guy. Okay.
look, hey, I'm not looking for nipples, but sometimes they really draw the eye.
I was
Adam,
looking at all the other
Adam-
women. I was looking at the 20 topless women in the movie. There's just
I was
endless
looking at
amounts of topless
yeah,
chicks.
the other
Every time you
nipples.
could see his nipples, there's a naked lady. I'm being like, what is up with his nipple?
I like the scene in the bar or in the clubhouse. They have a topless woman playing pool.
Oh, and she
which is
in the worst form, breaking that, breaking the thing. She's like standing basically on the table. That was some extra work that I took a mental note on because she
This is a
cracks
great
it all
shot.
weird, and then her and then whoever she's playing with, they both go,
Ice.
yeah.
I think it's ice.
That was ice?
or
And
was
they
it
both
ice?
just go like, yeah,
Or
and
was
then
it
walk
ice?
around and just look at the balls.
Or
It'd be
was it
somebody
Ice
else's turn.
who threw the knife at the ass on the wall. Remember that guy
I
threw
don't
the
yeah,
knife,
remember.
yeah.
I
That
think
was
that
cool.
was ice.
and then the door opens and Lance Henriksen walks out. This is just great directing.
How did he throw
lot
that?
of-
Somebody had to actually
good
throw
directing.
that perfectly
It's not
between
hard.
the butt cheeks.
He's
it's going
standing
like
like 5 feet away.
But he got it perfectly between the butt cheeks, like
I mean,
right
I
on the
feel like-
line.
If you do that and it goes in like the middle of a picture of a butt and you're trying to show that to another guy, you're just like, oh, it feels like it's like you're communicating that you want to have like gay sex or something. So I'd be like, I wasn't
Adam, are
aiming
you
for the
gay?
butt. I wasn't aiming for the butt. It happened to go right in the butthole.
Is that what you noticed?
That's what I noticed. Another thing about his nipples that I liked a lot. Like this movie is like embarrassing for Brian Bosworth, kind of. I think he
I
looks
think it's
cool,
cool.
sometimes, but he's just a really bad
Awesome.
actor and stuff. And like he's obviously the worst part of the movie to me. Like I
What?
was saying, he's out acted by every single person.
Well,
There's
he's-
like Lance Henriksen will have like a really long monologue that he fucking crushes, and then it cuts to Brian Bosworth for like a little button line, and he completely like whiffs it. But
Yeah.
this is
and so like
outrageous.
it's like every time he's doing something cool, then something happens that kind of makes the whole thing like a little kind of like it makes him seem kind of silly. And the ending is awesome because after he like gets wins the day or whatever, and like he's walking out of the courthouse and the credits like stay on him for a long time as he's like walking and it's like following him, tracking back, and the wind like whips his vest open. And you just see his nipple for like the last like 3 minutes of the movie.
What's going on here?
It's just a
this is
weird.
not-
I'm pointing out a weird motif in the movie.
Anyway, let's talk about some of the other characters.
You're
So-
just talking about his nipples, bro.
Well, I don't
Jane-
see this many nipples on the main action star that often in a movie. I got to point it out. The
What are you
listeners will
talking about?
appreciate.
It's the era of the
Adam, like-
topless man with machine guns killing people. I mean, he's
yeah.
in really good shape. That's the whole reason he's in the movie. He's like a wrestler. He kind of looks like Hulk Hogan. You know, he's
Sure.
like, because like, you know, remember Roddy Piper was in They Live, which is like right before this. Like, this is the
Yeah.
era. Schwarzenegger, you see his nipples all the time in his movies. Stallone.
Yeah, but these are like unintentional nipples. Like
it's not
exposure.
unintentional. He's wearing an open shirt that's flowing, and he's like,
On the
Just
nippable.
goes, and then it stays.
you just
like
can't
that for the
handle
rest
a
of the
man being
credits.
sexy.
It just does strange things to me.
You're not a sexy guy, Adam.
He's
That's the
like
thing
not
about
even
you.
paying. He's like not even.
I'm way sexier than you guys. Okay.
Yeah, Adam, you're smoking a cigar in a shed, talking
Sucking
about a nipple.
He's
talking about
sucking
dude's
on a cigar like it's a
nipples.
little dick. Look at the chewed up nastiness of a cigar.
Yeah, this is getting kind of nasty.
So
I'm way sexier
Not
than
like
you
a
guys.
dick, like a huge clit. That's what I'm.
what
talking
about
cigar.
the beautiful woman who Stone Cold takes under his wing. Chains his old lady. Chains gives his old lady to Stone Cold. He's like, "You want to hang out with the Brotherhood? You gotta fuck my girlfriend." And his
My old lady. He calls everybody old lady.
Why
and
don't bikers
old
call
man.
their girlfriends old ladies?
They're not. It's
they
just
just wish that they were actual old ladies.
they're trying to be cool.
Oof.
I think.
You never heard that
This is my
term
old
before? My old lady.
I have, but I just am wondering why bikers
Because they're trying to be
use that.
cool and funny or cheeky, I guess, or disrespectful to women.
Well, it's confusing.
But he says it. There was one scene, I forget what it was, but he says old lady and old man like literally 7 times. Stone does.
Chains is pretty old too.
It's trying to fit in. He's overusing it.
Chains is at least 40 years older than all of these broads he's poking.
Yeah,
Which
they
is
should be
awesome.
calling him old. That's my issue.
Now, there's a great scene where
The goof.
Chains
You see his
loads-
nipples too.
He does Russian roulette with 3 bullets,
I know.
and he kills the Bolivian guy. He then shoots the old lady in the head. So that character is never saved. She's just murdered.
Brian Bosworth's
because-
love interest.
Yeah, because she
No,
fucks Stone
no,
Cold.
it's a different person.
No, it's her. She's killed.
No,
She's
it's
shot in the head. And Stone
Oh, I
Cold
thought.
it's not
Huh.
even that broken up.
Yeah,
About
it's immediately breezed past this series. Like woman, we had multiple. Like we had an arc with.
I didn't even
And
catch
then-
that.
the third shot is for John Stone or whatever, and it clicks and he gets to live.
Oh yeah, she does die, huh?
Yeah,
That's why he's walking alone out of the courthouse.
yeah, she's gone. I'm curious how this would have worked. Also, if they had kept the original backstory of him having a family, I guess maybe his family is killed.
Yeah, that's how it would have to be.
Then he would like with the grenade, and then he'd be banging this chick. But
Or I assume it would just start with
Immediately.
like you wouldn't even ever see his family. It would start with like
just a grenade.
I know you're angry because your family was killed by a biker gang 10 years ago. Like that's just the fuel that got him to where he's at now.
It'd be cool if they were killed when he was grocery shopping.
And he's just whistling Dixie, flipping cans around, goofing on it, and he
Eating
doesn't realize
cookies.
his family's just dead in the next aisle. Oh my
Yeah.
god! And he goes clean up in aisle 9.
What about the
That
weird?
That was his opening line.
Completely
slippery
like
shit.
blown too. It just sounded like immediately like what the fuck.
All the slippery shit on the ground that the main bad guy slips on. and
Oil,
flies
yeah, the olive oil or whatever he put down.
like 10 feet into cans. A
Yeah.
lot of cans
Yeah.
being knocked out in 80s movies. Repo Man, that happened.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
telling
what
you,
we were
it's
talking
cinematic,
about. Yeah,
cinematic place, the grocery store.
The in RoboCop, there's a safe hidden behind some beer cans where a guy has like an Uzi with a very long
barrel
barrel that's like he's like
with the holes
I've
in
been-
it. What was that barrel?
yeah with holes so it doesn't overheat, I guess. I don't know.
No, that was that was specifically an 80s thing.
whistle
That's not a
holes.
real. That's like
Well,
not a
the
real
Uzi
gun.
with the-
They're whistle
Thing.
holes, so it makes a cool whistle when you shoot it. Yeah. You guys don't know.
There's a lot of
guns.
barrel technology and I don't understand it. I know the longer the barrel makes it more accurate. So maybe like Uzis are notoriously inaccurate. So, but I'll tell you who's very accurate with an Uzi is fucking Chains, who during the middle of the Mississippi Supreme Court trial for the new sentencing of his boy, Lance Henriksen disguised as a priest.
Who
using
looks
a rosary.
completely different, dude.
Yes, using a rosary. Well, he cut his hair. He uses a rosary to sneak past a metal
It's called a
detector.
haircut, right?
He has a fucking Uzi, and he takes out the entire Supreme Court in one swipe. He shoots,
Yeah, he shoots a
nine-
guy like from right in his back and just blows.
That shit was dope.
Yes.
And then
That
he
was
goes,
awesome.
that was the cop. That was the cop that he pretended to die when they were on
Oh,
the
yeah.
docks. And
Yes.
that shit was dope. Cause then he goes, that dude was so hyped. Like
It's
after
like, I
they're like,
did it.
we pulled it off. We pulled it off. That was sick. He was like, woo! He was like just adrenaline rushing. And then that's how he goes out. And he's like, this time it's for real. And he just
does
makes
Chains
a hole
kill-
in him.
Does Chains kill Whipperton? That
Yes.
one guy.
He does.
Yeah.
He shoots him right in the head and he goes, the whip's been cracked. That's their
He has
code.
a lot of good one-liners. Welcome to my slaughterhouse. That part's awesome. They kill so many people in that courthouse.
Dude.
Yeah, this is a big part of an 80s action scene. You got to have like the battle, like in like the giant mansion or whatever, like Commando, Beverly Hills
Yeah.
Cop.
1,500 guards you got to kill.
You need a giant shootout.
Where
Also-
everybody's
Oh yeah.
just got like assault rifles and nobody can hit anybody except
Who's on the
the
outside?
good guy.
The
Man.
Avadi PD. I mean, none of these
Yeah,
FBI
there's-
agents
well,
are running.
That's
Are
true.
running into the state capitol.
You
to
can
stop
see,
this.
Stone
well, 'cause
Cold
there's
was trying to warn
hostages.
us.
but you can see on one of the shots when the helicopter's going by, you can see about 12 police officers standing outside for over an hour, just not
Yeah.
going in.
eating donuts.
And then you hardly can catch it, but you can see some guy with half a haircut sprinting, and it looks like a border patrol uniform, just sprinting into the back door.
I wonder if anybody's asked Brian Bosworth what he thinks about the Uvalde shooting.
Is he still alive?
Bosworth lives in
Oh, yeah.
Austin, Texas.
No way.
Ryan.
I bet he seems
Ryan.
fairly tangible. What's his
Weeby
name?
met him.
Pardon?
Mike Weeby.
Mike did.
Yeah, he met him.
Brian Bosworth.
He served him at a bar.
How do you know?
The Boz, nicknamed the Boz.
How do you
we've
know what
been-
happened to
we've been-
Ryan's friend?
He
We've been
told us about
DMing.
it.
You and Mike have been DMing
Yeah,
about
our
what?
nipple. We're sending our nipples back and forth.
Oh, because he went to Oklahoma. That's where he's
That's
from.
cool to me.
Okay,
So-
cool. I'm gonna go hang out with him. Maybe get him to my speakeasy.
Did Brian get in any more roles after this?
Yeah, but nothing big. He was never the lead of a Hollywood studio film. If you're the lead of a studio film and it bombs, like Michael Cera and Scott Pilgrim, they basically just shut you out of the system. They're like, yeah, no more chances. It's very rare to get like 2 or 3 chances. But
Michael Cera quit after that. He didn't.
that's not true. He's an actor.
He didn't quit, but he's like just went back to
Yeah, he quit.
playing guitar and doing voice acting.
Which is
Totally,
what makes-
Ryan.
I don't want to
Totally,
get millions
Ryan.
of dollars for doing almost nothing.
The massive failure of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World had nothing to do with him not being the lead.
That
of
movie's
any-
not a massive failure.
It's a huge bomb.
I watch it all the time.
I know. Lots of people
There's like
watch
a
it.
whole
It's a
group
cult
of- hey.
movie. I mean, look, the director got more work.
It's like a budget versus
Not enough nipples
box
though.
office sort of thing. That was the
Taylor
problem.
Kitsch, the guy who was in Battle.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a fucking game.
Battleship and
Battleship.
John
and
Carpenter or John
Carter of Mars.
Carter of Mars.
That one's
He's
dope
not a
too.
lead anymore. I mean, he was in Savages. He got a bunch of tries. They'll give guy like also the women complain that they give guys more chances to be in bombs,
Well, yeah.
but
Yeah,
Bosworth.
here's
yeah.
the deal too. When you hear a scary noise at night, is it the woman going to investigate? No, it's the man. That's why we get those extras. That's why we get
Unless
We
it's
get
the
the
mother at the Uvalde
when
shooting.
you're jelly jar, when you can't
Random.
open your jelly jar. Who's there? Man.
At the Uvalde Police Department's home, they let all the women go to the basement first.
Yeah. The women are opening the jars.
The SWAT team is just a bunch of moms. They just like pull a van up and they just open the door and a
Oh,
bunch
that'd
of
be
like
fucking sick, dude.
Mexican moms come out.
With flip flops, just
They do it.
slapping flip flops on their hands, ready to just toss it.
No body armor, nothing, just running in.
Yeah.
Just a look of disappointment and frustration on their face. That's all a mama needs.
Yeah, that's how they bounce the bullets off.
Their big old
mom
their
look.
big old mommy titties bouncing everywhere.
Yeah.
The mom look. They're mom jeans. Well, they got those like tight haircuts that protects their head.
Yeah,
Those
it's like
short-
a helmet.
It
They're
already
short.
looks it looks like a helmet. Spiky
They're
helmet.
large, used nipples,
used
providing nutrition for
to
down
life, supporting
for
life.
down soldiers on the battlefield. Shoot up old nipples, stretch marks. Let's
Go
hear
on.
for the mom. Let's hear for the moms of
Let's hear
Uvalde,
for the
Texas.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite thing about the Uvalde moms are? Their pussies work. You know what I'm saying? They're moms.
Right.
They do. They work, but
The pipes work. The system works.
Unlike these Dallas moms.
Oh,
Fucking-
oh, go on.
It's just like-
their pussies don't work. Moms, but they don't work.
Unlike these fucking moms out here adopting.
like that
Yeah.
FBI agent. Remember when the
Loser.
FBI agent walks into the bar and he's like trying to look cool, and Stone Cold's like, doesn't he like rip
Yeah,
off his
rips
sleeves?
both of his sleeves
Oh,
off
yeah.
effortlessly, and then turns his hat backwards.
He looks like a real biker. Then he's like,
He did
Totally
look, he
not
did
an
look
undercover
cooler.
cop.
Yeah, that guy sucked at his job, man. And he was agoraphobic, basically,
oh, he's
or
hypochondriac.
hypochondriac, germaphobe.
What happened to the black guy? He just disappears, right?
The cop, the sheriff.
The old guy.
Or the-
old black
The
guy.
FBI agent. There's 2 FBI agents at the beginning. That guy just
Yeah, he
disappears.
just disappears because
The
might have got
partner
another
is
job.
Jewish.
he's the
cop.
boss.
partner
No, he
is
comes
Jewish.
back. He's the boss. He's like the boss.
It's kind of a funny Aryan Jewish dynamic that they made for the movie of being like the Aryan buff like guy who's fucking and like really cool and knows how
Mhm.
to do stuff, and then the Jewish like, I don't know, guys. You know,
That's what we used to think. That's how we used to think the world worked. But now we know nothing's tougher than a mom.
yeah,
Nothing
Jewish
more hard
mom.
than
Imagine
a
that.
Jewish mom's nipples
yeah. Amen.
gobbling them.
I keep reading this fucking about this Uvalde shooting, and they say this woman got out of her handcuffs. It's like, how did she get out of her handcuffs? Did Lance Henriksen hold an Uzi up to her and blast him
shoot her
out
out?
like that guy did? Like to that.
Yeah.
Oh, who was that guy?
He's
Was
the guy
he
who
like-
killed the priest at the beginning of the movie. and he
Yeah, I
has
know,
no
but was he
lines.
like the leader of the gang?
he's so
And then-
special. He can't go to jail for 45 years. And it's like, why did you kill the priest? Why did you get this whole
why'd you do
fucking
this?
Was he the
stupid big
boss?
emotion?
Yeah, was he the boss? Was he
No,
like
Chains is the boss.
I know, but is Chains the boss because this guy's is Chains second in command,
Well-
and now is it the boss because this guy's on trial? Why is he so important?
He's the MacGuffin. So in every movie, there's a MacGuffin. There's a thing. There's a,
Yeah, well,
a thing you
yeah.
need to get, and he's the guy. And so that's his role.
I know, but as far as like the story goes, what is he?
It's not established why he kills the priest or anything. Why he's so important, and why he can't just be in prison. Because like all these gangs have a prison, you know.
Especially the
I- I-
Brotherhood.
yeah. Why is this such a big deal? But yeah, that's the thing about white biker gangs, like in other movies and stuff too. It's like all this bad shit starts happening to them, and it's like you guys did this to yourself by being
Oh.
fucking annoying assholes. And like,
D-Day. That they kept talking about D-Day, and that was just to kill Wit. Like they just wanted to kill. He was just there. He was unhinged, right?
Yeah,
Chains
he
was
wa-
just like losing it.
Let's talk about like the thing that gives him a real advantage, which is one of the biker gang guys was in the army in like when
Oh yeah,
AWOL,
yeah. That's how they got the helicopter.
and he was able to get a helicopter and ammunition for like 50 grand or 200 grand or something. And the guy who gave it to him was like, cool. Well, I hope you have fun. Like,
Hey, we miss you down in the barracks.
yeah,
when are you going to come back?
Hey,
He come
We're
back to
gonna
the
go shoot up the like. They're gonna trace it back to that.
too bad they didn't get some tanks. It would have been awesome to have some tanks just rolling down the street. you
I
know?
don't know. That helicopter charging was
Dude.
definitely way cooler to watch than a tank going straight at the building.
I also
just-
love how the helicopter pilot's like, after this, we're going to the White House.
Yeah,
That's what he
That
said.
would have been so fucking cool if they went to the White House.
That's just like something to really make the audience chilled. Be like,
Could you
whoa, this
take-
could happen.
Could you
not Bush,
take?
not
Oh,
George
dude,
H.W.
that,
Bush,
oh,
bro.
when
Yeah, he
when
took
they
care
were
of the
all
biker
storming,
problem.
when they were storming the Capitol, I was
Yeah.
like, God, this is probably what these fucking Trumpies felt like when they
Yeah.
stormed.
Honestly, it like was kind of re-traumatizing for me to watch because it was like
Oh,
living January 6th all over again.
That day really affected.
I
Adam.
forgot you're. Yeah, I forgot you're on the Supreme Court. You were supposed to be at court that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Supreme Court wasn't in that building, Ryan.
I almost
I hate
became a
that.
Oh,
Supreme
I don't
Court
know
justice. And then that happened. That's not what I'm talking about, of course. That's way too
Well,
ridiculous.
not a lot of people know this, but Mitch McConnell is Adam's dad.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope that's cool with everybody. That's
Same chin.
know.
I mean, were you actually
why do you
worried,
keep saying
Adam?
I have a weak chin? Last week too.
Adam,
You have a
your name
chin
would
like
be
a dreidel.
Chins. Instead of chains, you'd
spin-
be chins.
You could spin Adam just on the tip of his chin.
Somebody, just all the comments about my body and
Well, that's
face
your
and stuff
thing.
from William. Oh yeah,
It comes
that's true.
back.
You're just
Look,
sticking
you're
up for Brian Bosworth because I
You're
was talking
bald,
about
you're
his
fat,
nipples.
you got a head like a walnut. That's not a
Stop
problem.
trying to make people think that I'm fat. Sorry. William is trying to make people think that I'm fat on the podcast.
Bald, you're fat. You got a head like a
I think-
walnut.
I've realized this recently that he keeps dropping like, "Oh, you're fat" and stuff, and I'm like, "Why is he saying that?" He's making you think
he's
that this is the
nagging me,
voice of a
dude.
fat person because that's what his fucking brother said or something one time. His
Well, until you
brother thought I was
started
fat.
smoking, you were pretty heavy. You were pretty puffy.
It's true.
Now-
I just smoked a lot of ciggies to
Baby
keep my
weight.
shape. Yeah.
Just tell people
Anyway,
it's baby
I'm not
weight.
fat. I'm great. My chin is great.
Okay. But you're retarded. That you agree with?
That I agree with.
All right. We're all a little retarded sometimes.
We're all a
You
little
know?
tardy.
You
every
know,
now and again.
even the boss.
Yeah, it's okay. He was just having a retarded couple of months when he made this movie.
He
Probably
was
the best thing he's done.
Yeah, this was a tough period for him. He said during that Viking funeral scene, that was the day he got fired from the NFL or had to retire because of his injuries.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because of his injuries?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So
that's
yeah.
like a
Well,
poetic
he
scene
it
for
doesn't
him.
seem like he was that good of a football player.
He's a beautiful man.
He was
He
a
had
national
he had
champion.
Hollywood looks.
Yeah. He looks like
He
John
won
Cena.
he won the Butt Kiss Award twice.
I won that.
Is that related to football or?
I think so. Yeah.
Hold on. What kind of award?
Butt Kiss.
Dick Butt
He's
Kiss,
on
star of Hamburger the
4.0.
motion picture.
Dick butt kiss,
He's only
guys.
recovered 3 fumbles. Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's that good of a football player. Oh, he had the biggest
Okay,
contract.
I like to see
though,
how
yeah.
good of a football player you would be in the NFL, Ryan.
Oh, I played.
Those guys work hard and they play hard.
And then
you
they
know?
murder their wives.
Who did that?
Don't blame them for doing that.
Name one football
they're
player
all
who murdered his
concussed.
wife that was convicted.
Ah, there you go. Got me.
Okay. Mr. Simpson, he had a
Mr.
great
Simpson.
defense. It's not an open and shut case for that guy. Okay. Why would
Gotta
he kill
quit.
his ex-wife? It makes no sense. Crazy.
You know,
It's
bitches
crazy.
be crazy. Bitches be gabbing.
So you think he did it, but you think it had nothing to do with the CTE or anything else, just because she was gabbing, Ryan? He's
I
nodding
wish
his
someone
head big time.
There's someone who I wish would stop
He's
gabbing.
not- Who?
Big fat bald guy.
Big fat walnut head.
You're creating like a
Oh.
police sketch of me in the audience's minds, and it's not accurate. I just have to.
If you ever seen, if you want to know what Adam looks like, just Google salute your shorts and donkey lips. Adam is a dead ringer for donkey lips from Salute Your Shorts.
I'm gonna Google weak chin walnut.
It also will work. No, Adam, you're very handsome.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about.
You know,
And we're all beautiful men. Okay, that's the secret of the podcast that we don't want people to know. We're all incredibly beautiful.
That's
We
not
all
true.
look like Brian Bosworth, really.
the character I like the most in this movie, and I would give the Academy Award to, would be William Forsythe as Ice.
Yeah, he's sick.
He's just a great actor. He's just a great
Chains.
actor.
Chains was pretty good too.
James is
come
good,
on.
but man,
Everyone is good except for Brian Bosworth.
how can you say that?
No,
He's
some of
good
those,
in a bad way, but he's not like
He's stoic enough, but he's like
doing his
he's like
best.
charming.
Blowing every line.
I didn't think so.
Really?
What's
Yeah.
one line
You're
that you
jealous.
can remember? And then let's hear you read it.
I'll pull it up. You guys talk about something else.
Clean up in aisle 9.
Clean up in aisle 9.
Wow.
Where I come from.
No
what does he say?
charisma.
Where I come from, a beautiful woman isn't just something you give away.
Yeah.
Is that one of his lines?
Yeah, there's something like that. Yeah. And then the
Al-
woman gets shot in the head, and he's just moves on immediately.
he goes, also a beautiful woman is something you don't need to lose sleep over if you witness him getting shot in the head.
And also, he's the reason she's dead. She was killed because she fucked him and knew
Been
he was a
there.
cop.
He's like, oh,
What about the little diversion in this movie with the mafia? That's nice. I love a little mafia.
Oh yeah,
You
and
know.
they're like, they're gonna try and get both of them.
anti-Italian
What was that
horse
stuff?
shit, if you ask me.
P2P
What was the
or PTP?
No,
PTP?
P2P. No, it was
P-
P2P because I saw in subtitles that it was P2P.
to make
That should-
meth?
Yeah, he used that to make meth. That's essentially he's pulling a Walter White kind of.
Yeah, a train heist, and then
Yeah. Or that was methethylene or whatever the fuck it was.
and then he just blew it up because the
He
guys
doesn't give a
fucked him
fuck.
over.
He also
He
blew up
an
a gas
entire
station
gas
that was
station. Yeah.
just- and a guy working there and stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
but there's no time for dealing with
But-
any sort of fallout from that.
It's just a little
Those things
nip
a little
slip.
differently. Yeah, I just
And nobody cares because everyone's distracted by his nipples. That's
It's
why he
just a
gets
fun
away with
movie.
it.
This movie
Really?
just has a fun element to it that is very hard for. I mean, this is more fun than fucking Top Gun Maverick or any of that bullshit. I
Really?
mean, this is
it's loose and like it's directed well and like with a ton of energy and like
yeah. You
awesome.
got your big dumb stiff guy as the lead, but he's giant, and then you got your fun character actors peppered in, and you got
If-
like an amazing stunt sequence at the end.
Yeah,
in
there's
the
great
courthouse.
stunts throughout. All the action's
My,
really
my favorite stunts and my favorite fight scene was when he fought the other big strong guy in the pit
Yes,
at one of the rallies, and then they literally just punched each other back and forth 40 times. Like that scene could have been
it's wrestling, I guess.
5 frames shorter, at least 10 frames shorter, because it was just like punch and then punch and then punch and then punch, and then I'm like, okay, and then it did it like 7 more times. Like, okay, we get it. They're punching each other, and nobody's bleeding.
you don't cut on that gold, Ryan. You let that
That's
shit
how
play
a
out.
wrestling match is. This is true. This is a true. This was like off of the popularity of pro wrestling at the time. I think you're right, William. In like subtle ways. That's just how like it affected the whole culture. In
The
these ways.
Hulk Hogan culture.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, yeah, this definitely seems like a movie a wrestler could be in. Hulk Hogan would be good in this for sure. I mean, he really fits that Aryan look, but also he seems like a biker,
Batista.
right?
Yeah, this would have been a good Hulkster movie.
Who's Batista? What's his name?
Goldberg probably
You got
wouldn't be
it.
able
That
to
was
play
it.
the character.
Diamond
He's
Dallas
Jewish.
Page.
Hmm.
The Rock, dude.
Now we're
Dwayne.
talking.
Sting. What if Sting was in this
From the
With
Police.
the painted face.
with the painted face? Just the whole time he had a painted face.
What if Sting the musician was in it?
Or Rey Mysterio.
He was just having tantric sex with everyone. That's how he fought the bikers.
In
Something
a
to think
tantric
about.
style. He just puts his finger in his butthole, and then the guy orgasms
Yes, exactly.
for 2 hours and can't
Making
stop.
the biker gang come
Buckets.
over and over until they pass out from exhaustion.
Stone
It's like
Cold.
it's like when to get around a poison drink sort of thing, like in Princess Bride. It's like you build up a tolerance to the poison.
Yeah.
So Sting
Is that
can
why you
just
is
go,
that why you
go. And
is that why
everybody
you
else
stick your
passes out.
finger up your butt all the time?
I'm practicing. I'm getting ready for that. for an emergency situation.
Are you doing it
I'll be
right now?
ready.
He just leaned over and put his hand behind it.
I'll be ready. I've had my finger in my ass on every recording of this podcast.
So
If your
at the
finger
end
was
of,
in your mouth.
So at the
that's
at
disgusting.
I wish your ass was in your mouth.
That's
At the end
now
of the
you're being
day,
silly.
here's the whole point of this movie here, or their whole plan was to have him infiltrate them, break them down from the inside, and then get them all arrested, right?
Well, also to prove they were killing the judges.
Yes.
It's like
And
we don't have any
then-
proof, but we know they did it. We don't have. It's not like there's a giant tire
There's no
track outside,
yeah.
all up and down this judge's house.
Ballistics of Uzi gone.
They're
like,
literally
shit.
bragging about it.
Yeah.
I mean, all you have to do is sell them bombs or something, and then be like, "Oh, they bought bombs." Like it's very
Get
easy.
'em.
Like they're committing so many crimes. It's like, yeah, you don't need to, you don't need to prove they're assassinating judges. I mean, they're openly selling drugs.
Cops are like, yeah.
And then-
this is like a method of police work.
So then by the end of the day, though, it ends with him shooting them all in this Capitol building,
Basically,
killing
the worst case
killing
scenario.
everybody in the gang. Like he literally shoots everybody in that gang, and because they're all at the Capitol.
Plus,
He
not
could
saving.
have just showed up at the freaking encampment
illegal,
and shot them
Ryan.
all at night.
That's illegal.
Not
That's
for
wrong.
a cop. Cops show up to people's houses at night and shoot them while they're sleeping all the time.
He also doesn't save anyone. The girl dies.
Nobody's
dies,
got saved.
The
Yeah.
judge. All the judges die. Whip dies. Only Stone Cold is saved.
Yeah.
And well, and his partner, I guess, saves him. Yeah.
So what's the message
Yeah.
of this movie? What's the moral of the story? What did we learn?
I guess if
So-
if you got a real problem and you don't know how to take care of it, you get a hunk.
Yeah.
You know, hunks can solve any problem.
Always ask a hunk.
Hmm.
Hunks on demand. That'd be a good website. If you need a hunk, they can send you a hunk over.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Adam's like, I need to get I gotta like mount this TV, and like orders a hunk,
Yeah.
I need
like a
I
gay
need
escort to come over, like
Like,
install it.
no, I just want you to do the TV.
When he's like, Adam, that guy Pedro you hired, I think he's smoking meth in the bathroom. And he's
Like, that's
a
just my
hunk.
hunk.
he's
I
wearing
want
a
to
lot of
help
stuff.
out around the
He's
house.
smelling. Smells like perfume. He's spraying perfume everywhere to cover up the smell. That's cool. Get
Adam
a
just
hunk.
got his finger up his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she knows that it's because that I'm practicing and getting ready for an emergency situation.
He just has cum all over his face. He's like, "What? No, Pedro's not great. Pedro's awesome."
Pedro, my hunk. Yeah, no, he's fine. There's just cum dripping off your nose.
But the TV is hung up perfectly. And that's why you hire him.
It's like, why is it on your nose?
Just like a bubble of
babe.
cum going in and out on his nose,
Like a
on his
snot.
nostril. It's cool.
Oh,
Get a
yeah, no,
hunk.
he said it. Get a hunk.
If only the Uvalde police were hunks.
Yeah.
Brian Bosworth types, big buff men.
I wouldn't be fucking sitting outside, I bet.
They'd be doing wheelies. Well, I mean, everybody would die.
They would let all the
but-
kids get killed, then they would shoot all the bikers.
They
Yeah.
let all the kids get killed, shoot the bikers, and then the school would blow up.
Honestly, he's a lot like an Uvalde
It's
police
cool.
officer now that I think about it. He is.
Not
He is a
good.
lot like this. Yeah, he's letting people get killed, no problem.
Yeah.
Not a concern.
Well, also,
of his.
the FBI, these guys are dorks. Those are people running the
I
investigation.
think this would be a big scandal.
Yeah,
afterwards.
absolutely.
I think the press would have a field day with the shenanigans of the FBI and Stone Cold. You know,
And it's-
the entire Mississippi Supreme Court was assassinated. All 9 members in one sweep. And like you said, why didn't they arrest him beforehand? They had a helicopter. I mean, this is like Pearl Harbor.
the helicopter, and they're playing with the helicopter. The
It's an
plane with
attack
their
on democracy. Really.
This is a big deal. A Capitol
it's
building in the
D-Day,
state
bro.
had a helicopter attack with U.S. military not funding, but providing materials for the attack.
Yeah, this would be a scandal.
Nah.
Plus, the FBI is arresting that Bolivian guy, and then he just comes back. I don't know.
He's literally like on a plane. He like got off the plane that they deported him on, walked out to the terminal, turned around, and got right back on a plane. He's like, I'm gonna go rat this dude out.
I love that little story.
Even though
Bosworth
he is
tells.
wanted.
Bosworth is like, my grandpa used to cut off a chicken's head and watch it run around the backyard.
I think I'm gonna do that to you. What does he
Great.
say?
Or if you come back, you're gonna meet my grandpa or something. he said.
Oh yeah, you go meet my grandpa. He's like 90 now, and he's actually pretty sick, so he's not that threatening. But you get what I'm getting at, right?
Both of his nipples are just fully out and like rock hard.
They're just
so,
slowly growing.
Yeah.
They're getting wider and wider, like pulsating.
Oh, Adam, you have notoriously gross nipples.
Let's
Yeah,
see
that's
him.
true.
Let's see him.
As somebody with big
Canadian
juicy
bacon.
nipples, I take notice. So
You got big old roundies.
Yeah.
I got some roundies. What you got? Little Tic Tacs?
I'm missing one. What the fuck?
Dude, bigger
Yeah,
nipples
that's
are
gone,
cool.
bro.
It's cool to have really big, round, dark nipples that you can see through a white shirt. That's like that's a sign of an alpha.
That's
An
what Pedro,
alpha.
that's what Pedro has. That's why you hired him. You're going to
Yeah.
hire a hunk and you're looking at who am I going to hire
Hunk
to
with
mount
some
this
chunky
TV?
nips.
Oh, well, I want an alpha, so I better get this guy with the really big, puffy, juicy nipples.
I just want those suckers to be like a ripe orange off of a tree. Just juicy. Just squeeze that juice in the morning.
Yeah.
Oof.
Just get a handful. Nice handful.
Talking about nipples?
Oh yeah, I want a juicy round.
We're talking about real
nipple.
juicy.
You want a cow?
Why don't you guys go
Something
back
like
and
that.
look at
Yeah, something like that.
do a nipple pass
Nebraska-
on this movie, guys.
Brian's
You'll
a
see what I'm
Nebraska
talking about.
boy. He likes a girl. He likes a woman with
Oh
like
my
udders.
god.
Long
So here's the
droopers.
thing. No, I like the boobies to be normal,
Yeah.
but the nipples to be udders, like 6 on each boobie.
What about 6 on each boobie?
Yeah, so like 6 udder nipples on each boobies.
Do cows have 6 udders? I believe they have 4. Maybe I'm wrong.
Hey, the more the merrier. The more the milkier, baby.
That's true.
Sounds like you guys know more about nipples than you previously.
I'm pretty sure
Revealed.
cows only have one, William. As far as I'm concerned, all the ones that I milk just
One
have one
hard
big, just
one big hard
one
nipple.
big hard
Yeah.
udder.
It gets bigger and then it
Yeah.
for a while and then I get the milk out and then it gets small again.
One
Mm-hmm.
big slimy udder. People fuck horses, but do they fuck? I know they fuck female cows, but do any guys fuck male cows, bulls? I
Yeah,
guess
they
it's
don't
too
talk
dangerous.
about it though.
The bull is too dangerous to fuck.
No,
Yeah.
that's what's exciting about it.
Sheep, of course, yes.
You just have
You
to
think
be a real
Bosworth?
alpha.
You think
Guys-
Bosworth? How do you think Bosworth fucks?
Do you think bestiality guys think like guys who fuck sheep are like the guys who only fuck Asians? They're like, oh, of course, he's
Oh
going
my
right for the
gosh,
sheep.
dude.
Oh,
You're
he's
making
gonna
us
do
look bad.
another sheep. It's weird.
You're making us.
Something-
You're a stereotype.
You want to fuck hey, let's get some cows. Nah, no cows. Let me guess. Sheep. Yeah, you want sheep. No dogs.
I think
Bah.
I could see
No horses.
preferring
Just
sheep.
Just
I,
sheep.
I feel like I could see preferring sheep just based on like height
Adam's
differential.
thinking about fucking a sheep right now.
No. I'm just saying
He's picturing it.
if I were to fuck a sheep or a fucking animal, I would pick maybe a sheep or a goat or something that's more around like the level of so I'm not up on my
Goat.
toes.
you disgusting boy.
What do
I'm
you
gonna go.
A goat will kick you.
how do you get up there for a horse or a cow?
You get a ladder. I also
if
like
you mount-
Fucking on a
you-
ladder? I
you-
don't
it's
think
like
so. It's not comfortable.
a fucking WWE Survive the Cage match or whatever the hell your shit was
Hell in
talking
a
about earlier.
cell.
Hell in a
Fucking
cell.
I also like how Adam in this scenario is the one doing the poking. I believe you'd be the one on the ground.
I would, Mr. Hands.
You'd be
or
the
whatever.
you'd be the one stuck in the fence, and the sheep would just come strolling by, and you'd be like,
Mm.
"Help! Help! I'm stuck!
I'd get the one sheep that's
Step sheep! I'm stuck!"
Reverse bestiality one that's into fucking people.
I don't think there is a. I think that's still
And what, it fucks
bestiality.
you in the ass.
No, those animals are fucked up.
So you want to get fucked in the ass by a sheep?
No, I'm just saying.
Your
It would
words
just be
to
my
God's
luck.
ears.
So I think when I think about having sex with an animal, Adam's thinking about the height, logistics, and all that stuff. What
Mhm.
I think about is think of the pillow talk. A sheep, you could just would be so comfortable to spoon. Think of the after poking when you're just laying there and you just got to talk. I think a sheep would be great.
Yeah.
Horse a little too big, but you could get inside of the horse. You could be the little spoon to a horse. That'd be nice.
I mean, a pig is like the most human like, I guess. That's what they say. Like a human meat is kind of like pig like. So
They're all pink on the inside. That's what I say. Like I'm not willing to, commit without sampling the goods, if you know what I mean.
mm,
That's how I'm gonna make my choice. It's not gonna be about pillow talk. It's not gonna be about height. It's just gonna be about what
connection.
feels the best.
Yeah. You're looking for that real connection.
Or
Dolphin. I hear
maybe-
dolphin's pretty good.
maybe there's a duck that's good at fucking, and I meet that duck, and I'm just like, hey, I never thought I'd be with a duck, but hey, this one's good.
They only
That's
got
true.
one hole though.
You never know. That's like a beautiful love story, honestly. If it's not what you think, and then but that's what you find happiness in.
Because they're good at fucking.
It's
Yeah.
like her pussy and asshole are the same hole, and I really enjoy that.
You're on like an eHarmony commercial, like as a couple talking, you and the duck.
It's like quack,
eFarmony.
quack, quack.
eFarmony.com.
You guys are just chuckling, like, "Oh, yeah, it's a beautiful relationship."
Yeah.
So
Kind of what Harry
ratings.
met Sally sort of thing.
Oh yeah, let's. I hope Adam gets arrested for fucking an animal later this week.
I was thinking 3 stars, but I got to say that courthouse scene really gave it an extra oomph that was necessary, and I went up to 4 stars.
I agree. I'd say honestly, though, it was fucking dope. Like his costume was dope.
Yes.
The priest outfit, he looked sick. The welcome to my slaughterhouse, that was sick. When there's like
Chains, everything Shane says.
Yeah.
Is sick.
It's good performance.
I did-
Genuinely.
I did 4. I did 4 because it was entertaining.
Four's fair. I'm gonna just be a different baby and do 3.5. But
Well,
I was at 4 for a while, and I was like, I really want to think about this kind of stuff. So, but 4, 3.5.
shut
I really
up.
want to think about this stuff. We just
Hands
talk-
over your mouth. No one can hear you. Sound like shit.
Oh,
and you're like, I really got to think about this. Even though we did just spend about 10 minutes talking about what animals we'd fuck. I really
Yeah,
got to put some
so-
thought into this one.
I'm thinking next week we do Hard Boiled. That's
Never
another
seen.
cool cop. Tequila. That's his
Cool.
name. Tequila.
cool. That is cool.
I mean, it has a lot of similarities to this movie. I think you'll enjoy it.
It's too bad we couldn't get we wanted to bring back our old buddy Chris Stathis for this episode, but it couldn't work out.
He works on Sundays.
He's got church.
Kind of just blew it through mostly lack of really trying, but
I can't shoot. I can't record during the week anymore. I can't. It's too much. I get tired.
mm. Anyway, yeah, this movie's great.
Nope. Time to go.